What's up, everybody? This is Steve Sterlacci, and today we are looking at the famous Firefly 338 from Amazon and from guitarsgarden.com. This has become quite the internet sensation. There's a lot of people talking about these guitars, so I went out and bought my own. I bought mine from Guitars Garden because they were out of stock on Amazon. I saw all these people talking about what a great guitar these are. What a great guitar these are. What great guitars that these are, these Firefly guitars. A lot of people are really thrilled with theirs. So I originally bought this fully expecting to hate it and to, be a tone snob about it and find every little error that I could find with it, find every little issue with the guitar. And I have to say, this thing is blowing me away. Like, it is beyond anything that I expected. I mean, look at that top. I feel like for the price range, that is absolutely insane. Which, by the way, let's talk about. This is the highest end model that Firefly offers. This is the Spalted Maple 338, and this goes for a whopping $198 before shipping. So a top like this, a guitar that just looks like this for 198 bucks, I was thinking I can buy this and I can modify it, I can hot rod it and do whatever I want to it, and it's gonna be great because it's such a good looking guitar. I really dig it. If you look at the ears here, this is kind of like reminiscent of a late 60s Gibson when the Mickey Mouse ears started to wear down. They started to go to this pointy thing. I think that was like 66 or so is when those were really a thing. If you look at any late 60s Gibsons, you'll see that pointy horn shape here on both ends, which is really cool. It's a fully set neck, made just like a Gibson would be pretty much. Look at the look at the back. Like look at the quality of the wood that you get with this. Looks awesome. So let's talk about some of the specs on these guitars because there is nothing on the website. If you look at Guitars Garden or you look at Amazon when you see these, there's just nothing, like zero. The only things that it says is that it's an electric guitar and it comes with a bone nut. So a really nice stock feature is that this is a bone nut and it's actually cut really well. So it's not your typical import guitar. Obviously, these are made in China. I didn't mention that before. These are made in China. And usually when you get a import guitar like this, the nut is going to be terrible. But for some reason, this nut is actually really good. It may be slightly high, but other than that, it's perfectly playable and great out of the box. Like beyond impressive for a $198 guitar. I mean, you can go to a tech and spend $80 on a bone nut and have it, fit perfectly to the guitar. And this one comes stock with a really nice bone. So that's a big plus. The hardware and everything on here is really nice. It's a regular tunematic bridge with the flathead screw pieces that you adjust your action height that way. The pots feel fine, like they have a nice little turn to them. They're not too light, they're not too heavy. And the switch is actually really stiff in a good way. The tuners are, kind of the stock no-name brand, but they actually are really good. I never thought I would demo tuners or for anything, but take a look at this. So normally when you'd get an import guitar, the tuning pegs would be all over the place and the tuning stability would be crazy, but listen to how nothing gets bound up in this. So I'm not trying to be a hero with my tuning here. I just wanted to show that there's no binding in the nut and there's no like plinking. Usually you could tell it's a bad nut or some crappy tuners when you get an inconsistent twist on the ratio with the tuners, like how fast you need to turn it. It's really consistent and there's no slipping in the bone. So this guitar stays in tune great on its own, and the tunematic is actually really good. It doesn't have one of those retaining wires like a lot of the cheaper guitars have that make a rattling noise. So listen to what this thing sounds like unplugged. This is just with the mic here. See how much we get that ring out. So it's got crazy good sustain. I'm like, this thing still surprises the heck out of me. Let's talk for a second about what I had to do to it out of the box. So these are still the stock strings. These shipped from Guitars Garden with what would appear to be Diodario strings because of the color coding that you could see in the back there. So I'm pretty sure these are Diodario strings. The only thing about the frets is that some of them are a little flat. So it's almost like somebody just kind of blanket leveled these and didn't take the appropriate time to crown them and polish them up properly, which is not a big deal. You have some scratchiness, if you can hear that. Little bit of a scratchiness to some frets. There's only like 2 or 3 spots on the whole guitar, but that's going to be fixed with some fine sandpaper and some polishing compound. That'll be great. If you want to see me do that in a separate video, type it in the comments and I'll video when I do that. The only thing that I did to it, it comes with this really ugly pick guard and this really crappy poker chip like a Les Paul would have on the pickup selector. So I ditched the 2 of those. Other than that, I just flathead screwed, brought the action down a little bit, and that's really it. Intonation is really good. No problems. I didn't even need to do any intonation setup. It came perfectly playable and like professionally playable, not just like for 198 guitar playable. Like I could take this to a gig and play it today out of the box. It's that good. So as expected with a guitar in this price range, you're gonna have a couple of finishing flaws, but compared to other ones, even double and triple the price, it's pretty hard to find the flaws in here. Obviously the polyurethane and the paint are really caked on here. This is probably just like a regular veneer top. It's not gonna be a very thick top, but I mean, who really cares? Like in today's day of guitars, like where you can get an import guitar on a great CNC program that makes a great guitar, like, really, who cares? Other knocks that people would complain about is that it's got the scarf joint neck, which is only a problem if you know what it is and have read it, that it's bad on forums. You have no feeling at all here. You don't feel that there's a scarf joint here, which means that the headstock is a separate piece of wood than the neck, but it's glued together, I'm sure, with plenty of wood glue, and then the really thick polyurethane over it doesn't make any difference. You could never feel that there's a scarf joint there, and it doesn't bother me as much as you read about it would be online. And yeah, other little finish things, some of the bindings a little bit, you know, not perfect, but I have handmade, you know, $3,000 guitars that have some finish imperfections in them. Nothing more, nothing less than this. But overall, it's a really great feeling guitar. And the pickups are pretty okay. We're going to plug them in. They're not my favorite, but again, this price range, I could put a set of pickups that are double the cost of the guitar and it'll be a great guitar. So again, here's how it comes. Stock from Guitars Garden, out of the box, same strings. Did nothing to it besides lower the action a little bit. Let's plug it in. So that is the Firefly 338 in spalted maple. This is an incredible guitar for the price range. I would highly recommend checking one of these out. Again, I wanted to hate this guitar so much after reading all the great reviews about it, thinking that it was all BS and, you know, people being paid to say stuff, but bought this with my own money, my own opinions on the review, and I am blown away with this. It looks so good. Look at that top. I keep staring at this thing. All right, that's enough for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Ask questions below. And as always, thank you, and I will see you in the next one.